Hello, my name is Paul Lima, and I have what's called a new daily persistent headache. I also have MS or multiple sclerosis, which I will talk about a little bit towards the end of this video blog. But I'm here today to talk about my new daily persistent headache. New. Why is it new? Well, I've had mine for 7 years, so maybe I should call it an old daily persistent headache. But when you first get it, it's new to you. I was not somebody prone to headaches when it first started to happen. On a scale of 1 to 10, the pain was maybe 2 or 3. It was a headache. It hung around for several days, a couple of weeks actually, and then the pain started to increase. So it went from 2 or 3 out of 10 to literally 25 out of 10. I was sitting on the couch, the pain was growing. I went to stand up, I literally fell on my keister. I could not stand. I said to my wife, I have to go to the hospital, I have to go to emergency. She said, I'll get the car. I said, no, call an ambulance. I could not get up. The pain was so intense. It was just like pinning me to the ground. Ambulance came. The irony is we live on a second floor, and the ambulance folks didn't want to put me on a stretcher and carry me down the steps. So one got in front of me, one got behind me. They got me on my feet, and I went down the stairs with them holding me. Then when we got to the first floor, they put me on the stretcher, put me into the ambulance, took me to the hospital, where they thought I was having a stroke. Turns out I wasn't, so they recommended that I go to my doctor and get sent to a specialist to be checked out for vertigo. I went. It wasn't vertigo. So this was all new to me. New daily. Why daily? Because every day for 7 years I've had a headache. I am here talking to you right now with a headache. The pain on a scale of 1 to 10 is probably about a 5. Although I don't know if I've gotten used to it. Maybe if you had what I was feeling, you might think it was an 8 or a 9 or something like that. It's been 7 years. And I know from a Facebook group, people who have had a new daily persistent headache for 3, 4, 5 years, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. Now, I'm 67, so this started when I was 60. I mean, I had a decent life, even with my MS, which I will talk about in a bit. But I know people in their mid to late 20s, mid 30s, early 40s with this headache. Honest to God, as sick as I am, my heart bleeds for you, because I had 60 good years, even though I had MS. I didn't have a really bad form of MS. The last 7 years have been kind of hellish. Some days heckish, but mostly hellish, especially in the evening. So it's every day without fail. Why persistent? Because it persists. It does not go away. I mean, when I first had it, a while into it, I'd say, oh, I'd do anything for a year of relief. And then I had it a bit longer, and I'd say, oh, I'd do anything for 3 to 6 months of relief. Had it a bit longer, I'd say, I'd do anything for a week of relief, a day of relief. Right now, I do anything for 5 minutes of relief, just to feel not having a headache. I mean, I forget what that feels like. I forget what it feels like to not be in pain. So it's new, it's daily, it's persistent, and it is, of course, a headache. Right now it's kind of behind my eyes and from one temple to the other. That's where the pain is. There's no known cause of a new daily persistent headache, and there's no known cure. Now, to be diagnosed with a new daily persistent headache can be difficult. I mean, they thought, in my case, it was vertigo, and then they thought maybe it was a migraine. I've been on 6 meds. The second last med I was on was an injectable once a month for 5 months. I went to the headache clinic in Toronto. The doctor I saw said, this should give you 25% relief, but if you're fortunate, it may give you 50% relief or even give you total relief. But we'll say 25%. The injectable was $5,000 a shot. Now the good news is the company was trying to get into Canada. I live in Toronto, Canada. And so they were giving it away for free to get listed with various insurance companies and healthcare and stuff like that. So I did 5 injections, once a month every 5 months, went back to see my doctor. And he said, where are we at? I said, 100%. He said, 100% cured? I said, no, 100% headache. The injectable did nothing for me. Now, I don't blame the doctor. I don't blame the meds. My doctor said to me, our hope was what you had was a chronic migraine. That's what this medication is best for. But what you have is a new daily persistent headache. And I'm sad to say, the doctor said, there really isn't no cure. We could try Botox, and he explained it to me. He said I might get 10 or 15% relief. And I said, well, when I wake up in the morning, I've got 10 or 15% relief. As I go through the day, it gets worse. So at night, it's a full on, maybe 7, 8 out of 10. So what's the point? Especially when he explained what I had to go through for Botox to get basically no relief or a tiny bit of relief if I was lucky. And the doctor got it. He understood. So I have been on 5 meds. Since going to the headache clinic, I was talking to my MS neurologist, and we were talking about the headache, which is not related to the MS. I'm on the New Daily Persistent Headache group on Facebook. Some people have just the headache, some people have the headache and something else, but the headache itself is, in and of itself, a disease, illness, whatever that you have. It's not related to other stuff. Anyway, I was talking to the MS neurologist, and she said, we want to try you on another med for your headache, not for my MS. And I said, I've been on 4 meds, including this very expensive injectable, but if you want to try it, I'm willing to give it a shot. So we gave it a shot, and nothing. And that's it. Like I'm through with meds. I'm not dismissing doctors and their attempts to try to fix me. I'm just saying I have a new daily persistent headache, and nothing is going to make it go away. So I'm through with treatments. I'm through with seeing doctors for the headache. I can still walk. There's sort of an irony in that the headache, and why they thought it was vertigo, makes me feel somewhat dizzy and a little unstable. Plus my MS. I was relapsing remitting, or is it recurring remitting? I've had MS for 22 years. I had RRMS, and you would get a hit, and it would last for weeks or months, and then it would go away. And you'd be sort of okay, or I'd be sort of okay for weeks or months, and then I'd get another hit. I've gone from that to secondary progressive MS, so I don't get hits, they don't come and go, but what I have is not going away. I am fortunate. It's in my legs, sort of from my thighs down to my feet. My feet feel like they're on fire. my calves and thighs kind of burn, kind of hurt, but I can still walk with use of a cane. So there I am with weak legs and a headache, walking my dog every day, often twice a day, because my wife, who loves to walk the dog, has had to pick up all the domestic slack. You know, you say, well, I've had headaches before and I'm sort of functional. Having a headache every day, as intense as this is, that never goes away, and admittedly coupled with my MS, basically after I walk the dog and eat breakfast, I sit down on a reclining chair, push it back, and fall back asleep. Now I'm 67. I'm retired, but I was a writer trainer, and I didn't think I was going to retire. I thought I was going to die writing, die training. You know, I loved what I did. I chose to do it, loved to do it, but can no longer do it. I went from training in person while we had COVID, and several of my clients said, well, we still need training, but let's do it, you know, using video. And I got to the point where I could no longer do it. I mean, I'm talking to you, I'm going to talk for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm going to go sit in my chair and collapse. Training sessions would last an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I couldn't do it. I could not go that long. I could not talk that long and train people. So my headache, coupled to a degree with my MS, has forced me into what I consider premature retirement. Now you say 65 is a retirement age, and I'm 67, but I haven't been working for 4 or 5 years. You know, just as a headache persisted. And as I got older, I had to stop working. I would love to work. There is this sort of irony because I can still sit in front of the computer and tap away at the keyboard. So since retiring, I have written 3 novels, 2 of which are published. One is called Jerry, and the other is called Chronic, a sick novel. I'm working on my 3rd novel now. It's out with editors called Family Tree. If you go to paullima.com, you can read about my books, and you can see some other videos I've done pertaining to MS. And this will be posted on paullima.com once I edit it. And you'll be able to watch this video, me talking about my new daily persistent headache. Again, we don't know what causes it, and there is no cure for it. It just comes out of the blue, and then it persists. Honest to God, the people I talk to on Facebook who have it, I mean, I have it, so in theory, you know, why should I feel sorry for them? But I do. I feel sorry for anybody if you're watching this and you have a new daily persistent headache, or a chronic migraine, or MS, or any other illness. I guess it's not so much I feel sorry for you as you have my empathy. You know, we shouldn't be sick this way, but we are. And all we can do is play the cards we're dealt. So I can still walk the dog, I walk him. I can still write, I write. Now the amount of time I spend writing is greatly diminished, and there are days when I don't do it. I walk the dog no matter how I feel, rain, sleet, hail, snow, cold, hot, because I think it's good for me to keep on moving. And I guess I'm going to end on that note. No matter what your illness, do what you can do. Keep on moving in your way, be it mentally, physically, or both. So I walk the dog, that's my physical exertion. We're out for an hour, hour and a half, occasionally 2 hours. So that's my physical movement, mentally writing the book. I don't know what else to say, and quite frankly, I don't know what else to do. If you have any ideas, email Paul paulmslima@gmail.com. You'll see my email address below in the video, paulmslima, Lima@gmail.com. And let me know how you're doing. Share any thoughts or ideas with me. I do what I can do. What more can one do? So I will just continue to do what I can do until I can no longer do it. Anyway, thank you for listening. Paul Lima, paullima.com. New Delhi persistent headache, multiple sclerosis is an illness I have I can barely pronounce, and just doing what I can do to carry on. I hope you can carry on and carry on well in your own way. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Take care. All the best to you. Bye-bye.